Hey guys, Christ is risen.
Truly he is risen.
Look, the corona panic seems to be over for now in our country. So we are taking this opportunity to show you how free we are as opposed to everybody else.
I just realized that we are not practicing social distancing.
And we're not practicing social distancing, which some might find to be responsible.
We are also not practicing long pants.
That's right.
But in the ever-changing world of showbiz, you have to show some skin. And hair.
Yes. Especially if you have something to show. Well, B, thank you for joining me in this
Košutnjak Monastery.
Košutnjak forest.
Yeah.
Monastery. It's a forest in the middle of Belgrade, and we are on one side of it, very close to moving vehicles, which you probably already hear in the background. But there are reasons for it. We didn't want to go too deep into the forest because now that everybody's practically loose from the chain of the state,
yeah.
People are practicing all kinds of questionable things.
And also, Anne screams like a little girl whenever a caterpillar falls onto the recording equipment.
Yeah, but it's super scary, guys. Okay.
No, tell them. It was...
Look, I admit it's the smallest caterpillar I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it any less scary.
Yeah, it's like a little snake.
Guys, we've been getting some questions.
Question. We've been getting some question.
No, I actually... No, I think it's about time we start addressing some elephants in the room.
Some bees in the room.
No, seriously. We got a question. Actually, before I get to the question, which is awesome question, I can't wait for it to be answered. I received a comment from one of our listeners or viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Viewers, yes, which was actually very much on point. So this is what happened.
It wasn't on point at all.
It was. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, okay. I don't know. Okay, let's go.
So basically, the first week after Christian Easter here, I went
Christian Easter as opposed to Muslim Easter.
Orthodox Christian Easter.
Hindu Easter.
Not to be mistaken for Muslim Easter.
Okay.
I went to the liturgy where basically B is a reader,
mm-hmm.
Which basically means he's carrying stuff for the priest.
Okay.
So and
that's a reductionist way of looking at it. Also a true way.
While it absolutely met my expectation of how the liturgy is going to be, it didn't meet my expectations of a decent Orthodox Christian liturgy. So I got a comment from one of our listeners, Walrus King 14. I am very interesting why the 14, also why Walrus, and also why King. But M, how are you going to complain about the divine liturgy you went to was underwhelming when you know most of us are still trapped in our houses?
Yeah.
Be grateful, man. God isn't giving you a rare opportunity that most of us won't have for 3+ more months. And I have to say,
an end.
I wholeheartedly agree. I'm super spoiled. I'm super spoiled because I do get to witness fantastic, perfect liturgies where with great people who pray and with a great community. Not the one I went to, but exceptions are there to confirm that they're different.
He is sort of regretting that he went to my liturgy and not to the one that he regularly attends.
Yes, a little bit.
A little bit.
So I gotta say, guys, I do feel for you for still not being able to go to liturgy. Like after all of this is completed, what was completed in terms of the restrictive measures that our country had, I've been to at least 2.
Yeah.
fortunately better than the one with. Okay, it's fine, man, it's fine. It was okay. It was just not up to my standards, but it was okay.
It was passable.
No, yeah, plausible.
Plausible?
I think it can be used. Is this a liturgy? Like theory, there's a theory that that's an actual Orthodox liturgy, and I'm okay, plausible.
You will be judged by the court of public opinion. Twitter mob at him.
No, really, come on. One can joke.
Yeah.
One can joke. Like the next one I attended was late, like for 30 minutes, and I remember asking the monk who was who's in charge of the monastery where I went to, like, Father, when does the liturgy start? And he was like, well, 9-ish. So, it's common for him, obviously.
Okay, I have to tell you the story about the Hungarian Matins.
Okay.
Okay. You
ready? Ready?
Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, so we went to this Hungarian...
Matin.
Maton. Frère Jacques, sonnez les matines.
Perfect.
We went, I think it's called Sindemos. It's like a con for Orthodox youth,
Okay, so that was an Orthodox.
Yeah. So we went to Budapest, and every day we went to different Orthodox churches. And man, there's plenty of them in
I didn't know that. I only found like one when I was there.
If there's 10 of them, and even a Romanian monastery.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, and one of the people was a friend of mine, and he brought along his wife, who's simply not religious.
Okay.
So we were supposed to attend the Divine Liturgy at, for example, in one of the main streets, Yazi Street, which I kept calling Nazi Street.
Nazi Street? Oh my God! Yes.
I mean,
I know that.
I know. I do it on purpose. I know how it's called, but I always call it Nazi Street.
I know.
There are so many ants here. So anyway,
sorry, man.
yeah, like city guys step into a forest. Bags. So anyway, the liturgy begins in 7:30.
Okay.
And we're listening the liturgy at in Hungarian, and it goes, and I'm not recognizing any of the parts of the liturgy. And then I realize it's not the liturgy, it's the matins.
Yeah.
The liturgy will begin in an hour and a half.
Yeah, 9.
So we are listening, and like an hour passes, and you're listening everything in Hungarian, and you're like, oh God. And I'm dreading it, and I'm dreading it, and I'm dreading it, and here it comes. Boyan, in how long is the liturgy over? We haven't even begun yet. What? And like
you were leading them to liturgy.
No.
Okay.
No.
Hey, it wasn't
this one specific instance, this wasn't on me.
It's fine.
And
it's fine.
like after like 3 hours of listening to Hungarian, and guys in Hungarian, like only word Christ and Amen are the words you understand. I think that they have their own word for a seraph.
No, because the core of the language is different. It's
everything's different.
Yeah, Germanic.
Yeah,
language.
Hungarian Finnish. None of
even
the
worse.
Words, yeah.
Sorry, Scandinavia, but seriously.
Yeah, none of the words have any relations with any other words in any other languages.
Except when you come to names and you start recognizing the names of cities, which you know in Serbian.
For example, but like nothing, just Christ and a man, and that's it. Like and Mary, and that's it. But like I'm listening to, like for the word seraphim, it's not there.
They translated seraphim and cherubim.
I think they did.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah, but no, seriously, guys. What I wanted to say is, we really feel for you not being able to attend Divine Liturgy. So if you want to, I wanted to like suggest, send us your names and all that, and we'll just keep you in our minds. We'll keep you in our heart when we go to liturgy. Like I give you a promise. And you know, maybe you know it's a very small thing, but you know it's something. It's something. I might even write your name down if I know how to, and put it into an Orthodox monastery.
Okay, I have to share a funny story about that one.
Of course you have.
So you know, I printed out my prayer list.
Okay.
But I forgot to
remove the Pope.
Sort of. And like the priest is reading names, and he's like, Boyan, who is this Annie Lennox? And I'm like, yeah, she's from Eurythmics. and remember Annie Lennox.
Yeah.
I'm glad that she has someone to pray for her. Well, I mean Orthodox. I mean, there is probably someone else who also prays for her, but you know.
I'm not gonna comment, but I will follow up with a question that we got from our audience. But before that, the reason why the liturgy is late in the monastery that I went to just now on Sunday is because there's so many names to be read. Not loud at all. So many names to be read. They can't make it. But let's wait for a commercial to finish.
And it's gone.
Appreciate it. So basically, there's so many names that people deliver to the monastery and that people bring with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, this is how it goes when people are going to a monastery and they are part of a liturgical community here in Serbia. Somebody would announce, "Hey, I'm going to this or that monastery." Then you know at that time, you know, send me the names, and people start sending names because they want the brotherhood or the sisterhood of the monastery to pray for them at the monastery, because you know it's extra points because it's monastery. no, seriously. And I remember walking into the church within the monastery, and everybody was reading names. Usually the priest or the deacon would read the names, or you know one of the Santa's little helpers like be here would read the names. But in this instance, people were just passing those little pieces of paper around, and everybody was reading. You know, you can imagine.
It's impossible for one person.
Exactly. You can imagine, and it took half an hour.
Yeah.
With basically everybody in the church reading names, and the one monk, a lady monk. Is there
none?
None.
A lady monk.
I am entitled to these
slips. Okay.
Guys, let's be serious for a second. The lady monk, she was reading one so silently that it's impossible to hear. She was reading everything else very silently, the prayers before the liturgy as well. But yeah, anyways, seriously, if you want to, like, send names, you know.
Yeah.
churchmouse.show@gmail.com. Just like our website, churchmouse.show, just at gmail.com. Send us your name. Send us the names of your you know, family or friends from your parish or whatever.
Or enemies.
Yeah, well, we are not, you know,
that Christian.
Anyways,
that all inclusive.
And also, thank you, Walrus King 14. You're absolutely right. And at one point you said, I apologize if I came on a bit strong. Please do not ever apologize for something like that, because you're doing a good thing by pointing this to me as a fellow Christian. So please do not apologize. If nothing, you're gonna get some kind of a reward. You know, points. But now we come to the question. Midsummer was great. I'm not sure if I would call it a horror, maybe mythological thriller.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, it's sort of difficult to put it in.
Is the Pope Catholic?
3 out of 5 people agree.
Okay, so the question was from Oscar Progresso.
Okay.
Very, very...
Formerly known as Oscar Romero. Now he's Progresso.
You say you're often called an ecumenist. Question, are you? Second question. If you are or aren't, what's the apparent anxiety around it? Now, I asked the question, even though I didn't have to. I asked the question, is it a question for us both? But it's obviously a question for B.
Because you don't get called an ecumenist.
I don't.
You don't get called at all.
Nice one. Easy 2 points. But still.
Well, you're not you know, you're not the laughing sort, you know? You're more of a laughing stock.
So, B, are you an ecumenist?
Always the best reply to this is, how do you define ecumenism?
I didn't ask the question. Are you an ecumenist in that whole, in that worldwide accepted, Orthodox worldwide accepted sense of, are you rooting for the Catholics?
Rooting for the Catholics. Again, what does that mean?
Oh,
No. Here's the thing. I think, and I said this in one of my videos, I think that that Catholicism is next best thing after Orthodoxy, and I said that, and like, if we don't have missionaries somewhere, okay, fine, then let Catholics come, better than
if I may
paganism.
say so, there's no doubt why people might call you an ecumenist.
Might.
But sure, do go on. It's so interesting, rather fun.
Yeah, but people use it as a slur.
As a slur, yes, yes, they do. But let's look at it this way.
Okay.
For me, when people in general from the church are speaking about ecumenists, they would speak about people who are supposedly trying to alter the liturgy, trying to get the Roman Catholics to co-serve with the Orthodox, basically support the Roman Catholic approach to ecumenism, which is dialogue with serving joint services, and you know where I'm headed with this, right?
But according to that, then I'm definitely not an ecumenist, because I'm definitely not for like
controversy.
What a controversy! Drama. Like I would never like attend such a service, like where there are, for example, an Orthodox and Catholic priest concelebrating.
We need a system. We need a system for this. So 1 point goes towards ecumenism, because you said that the Roman Catholic flavor of Christianity is the second best to Christian Orthodoxy, the Eastern Orthodoxy, which also then means
third best. There are Oriental Orthodox.
that we Coptic Church.
Copts, Ethiopians, Assyrians, Mormons.
Okay. Half a
Blacks.
point, because it's third place, not the second, goes to being an ecumenist. But then a whole point goes to him not being an ecumenist, because he would not attend a service where we have Orthodox and Roman Catholics serving together.
Yeah.
Which they do on a lot of occasions. I don't personally like it.
Wait, do they?
I don't know.
I'm not aware of it.
Have you heard of something? I need to say it in Serbian. Molitva nosmina.
Okay.
I think it's going to be half a point on the other side as well.
No. Okay. Yeah, that's those are those prayers for Christian unity. Okay. When I said concelebrating, I meant sort of like
Concelebrate. That's the word.
Yeah, like liturgical service.
Just saying, he knows the word for it. Half a point goes towards ecumenism.
Yeah. If you dedicate your time to it, then you can add a little counter for and against.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
But then it might be too much work.
Maybe. I don't know if it's fun.
I don't know. I guess I don't mind praying for Christian unity. I don't mind for that. I don't mind that. However, maybe. But the issue is that, like, you would have a bunch of people praying for unity, but each one of them, like, having their own
agenda,
view of unity.
Agenda.
Oh, agenda. Why not?
As far as I know, Roman Catholic Church does have agendas.
And we don't.
I don't know.
We do.
I said as far as I know.
Everybody has an agenda. Everybody has an agenda. But yeah, however, I must say that historically, Orthodox were more true, so to speak, to their vision of the church. Like, we never had anything resembling unia. Anything.
Yeah,
I mean, we do have Western Orthodox churches,
anything
but
resembling compromise.
Yeah.
Doctrinal compromise.
Yeah, because when you watch it, when you see Eastern Catholics historically, that may not be true today, but you can literally see that they're basically Orthodox who only accept the Pope, and that is a doctrinal problem. Like, and even I think it was Union of Brest.
I don't think it's that simple.
No, but for example, I think it was Union of Brest. One of the conditions for those Orthodox to accept the Pope was for them not to debate purgatory, like, or not to accept it. So they were like, okay, we are not going to accept purgatory, but we will accept the Pope. And but you had such debates with Saint Mark of Ephesus, and then you're like, okay, we don't have to debate it, you know. and I suppose like Saint Mark was like.
The thing is, a lot of Orthodox Christians do consider any sort of unions to be like a bit of an abomination, because there are things that you obviously can't compromise with. Otherwise, the Great Schism might have never happened in the first place. But the thing is, it went much further away after the Great Schism.
But then again, during the Great Schism, you had these two very headstrong, patriarchs like the Pope and they weren't, if those two specific people were in their post, maybe if you had somebody who was tad more mild-mannered, maybe Great Schism would have occurred maybe like 200 years after.
Later,
and maybe it wouldn't have been so severe, you know.
But there must be bigger reasons for things like that, you know.
That is why I say that they would happen, because
I think so too.
We did drift apart, and even before the Great Schism, you had that Photian schism with Saint Photius the Great, and that was already a big crack in Eastern Western. So. Whenever somebody says, "Oh, this is the reason for Great Schism," I say, "That's agree." That it was political. Yes, I agree. It was a language issue. Yes, I agree. It was a theological issue. Yes, I agree.
This is the reason for the Great Schism. We could do a rap song.
Or not.
Of course not. Look, I just want to say this.
It's complex.
Yes.
And likewise, my stance towards ecumenism is complex because people have a lot of definitions and there is a lot of subcategories to ecumenism. Compromising faith, no. Taking communion without our resolving our differences, no. Resolving our differences in a lie, no, and so on.
Let's do it like this then.
Okay.
Let's do it like this. Let's say I'm an average Serbian Christian Orthodox person.
Okay.
And subscribing to like the common vision of somebody being an ecumenist. So I'll just run you through a checklist.
Okay.
Do you read or consume anything Roman Catholic?
Yes.
Ecumenist. Right?
Okay.
Do you care at all about how the liturgy is served?
Yes.
Yes. Do you care how you're accepting Holy Communion?
Yes.
Yes. Define caring about accepting Holy Communion. No, seriously. Are you yes or no in terms of always taking communion during liturgy?
But this isn't an ecumenism issue.
Oh, come on, I said I was an average. Did you hear that?
Okay, fine. Okay, repeat the question.
Never mind. Look, guys, look. Fact is, the two of us don't have the same position on
the Eucharist.
For example, the Eucharist. Well, not in terms of...
No, we believe that it's the body and blood of Christ.
No, like doctrinal. What do you think the Eucharist is?
I think it is the spirit of Mother Earth drawing us in.
Isn't it just the flavor of earth?
Yeah. It is Earth giving us its fruit.
Ridiculous.
No.
But there's other topics where B and I don't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
Which was always the worst possible way to say things, like eye to eye. Like I always imagine plugging my eye and just combining it with somebody else.
Well, with organ donorship, you can do it.
Oh,
you can do it.
I don't think you can donate eyes, so please stop it.
You can.
Stop it.
You can.
No, you can't.
You can.
Hey, it shouldn't happen if you can.
I mean, after you die.
Oh, come on, stop it. He needs to stop saying that.
And like you're like in the kingdom of heaven, and like, where am I?
Yeah, I have to answer that question.
Okay.
Because I want to tell you my vision of you in that perspective. Like, are you an ecumenist? And share that with whomever asked the question, plus everybody else watching the video.
Okay.
I don't think B is an ecumenist. But I absolutely, without a single doubt, understand why many people would perceive him to be one. Because, and again, I really don't agree with him on a lot of things. But I would like one thing that he does, and that's he challenges
our preconceived notions.
I was actually trying to get away from saying that.
But it is such a cringy thing to say. How can you miss it?
I didn't want it to be cringe, but he is.
I do.
He presents his thoughts in
without
a way.
filter.
Shut up. In a way that does challenge, like let me call it the mainstream, just because it's easiest for me to do it like that. And I actually like that because when you challenge something, there are people who are called upon and maybe even inspired by the Holy Spirit to respond to those challenges. Unfortunately, doesn't fly well in the Orthodox Church. I think it just doesn't fly well. So I understand when he talks about Roman Catholic Church in general, in his own way with his own humor, which is ridiculous. People Orthodox people really get the sense that he's like, rooting for the churches joining, which inevitably means that we are accepting the Pope. Purgatory becomes a thing.
Well, that is what I disagree with.
We are denouncing the toll houses. We have to burn our monastery. No, okay.
No, wait. Actually, that's last point. Yes. No purgatory, no monasteries, no popes. Heaven.
Yeah, but I'm not the one to defend him on that, because he can do it himself. He can do it much better than I can himself. But I also have to admit that around 10 years ago, which is our universal time span that we use, back in the day, I was not that far away from thinking the same myself. We do perceive some things differently. It's just that it's not ecumenism. It's just people are different, and we have different persons, different personalities.
Yeah.
And it's logical. And look, I always say, even though some differences are huge, it should never be an obstacle for people to hang out, to be friends, to even speak about those controversial topics, like we sometimes do.
This reminded me.
What's wrong with you?
No.
Are you an ecumenist? Are you becoming one?
No. Once we were discussing at that chapel where I go, we were discussing ordaining female clergy, and I said something along the lines of, that thing would never fly in the Orthodox Church. Let me give you an example. Here we have average Orthodox woman. Now tell me, sister, if the bishop came to you and told you, I'm going to ordain you as a priestess, would you accept? Yes. Okay, we have a different average Orthodox sister.
So somebody said yes.
She said yes, and I didn't expect it at all. I mean, Jewish is definitely not what you would call a liberal. I'm like, okay, a different average person.
What I would expect is, sister, if a bishop approaches you and tells you, I want to ordain you as a priestess, like that's what I would expect.
But what will I do with all that money?
By the way,
Your
what
grace?
do you think about ordaining women?
I'm against it. I mean,
Well, so am I, but do you think anything above, beyond? Well, no.
not really.
Yeah. Okay. Me
Just
neither.
no.
It just doesn't work. Okay. Sorry.
Though it would resolve the ecumenism issue.
How so? Everybody would become ecumenists?
No, everybody will become ecumenist, but instead
What's
of
next, B?
No,
What's
no.
next? Baptizing dogs? Is that it?
No. But instead of throwing anathemas at each other, they simply wouldn't talk to each other. Perfect. And thus the purity of faith was preserved, except
That's
ordaining women.
So much better. I agree. So much better. Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. We went overboard. I know. But it's you know what I would just add, like for the ending of this "Are you an ecumenism" thing, guys. It comes too easy for us to tag somebody with something. Starts talking about vaccines, anti-vaxxer tag. Starts talking about 5G, conspiracy theorist tag. Starts talking about globalism, random idiots tag. Like, we throw these things
Oh yeah.
so easily. Thus, I want to say this. One, if somebody agrees with something somebody else said,
Block him.
that means that, guess what? They agreed with somebody that something that somebody said. They don't necessarily agree with everything that person ever said or is saying right now. Same goes for when they disagree with something.
Oh.
And especially when they dare challenge something that's either within one group or globally recognized as, the way to go. Basically challenging mainstream. We as people, and I'm starting for myself in this, we tend to tag people so easily. And
I agree with the anti-vaxxer.
but it's our loss at the end of the day. It's our loss. We don't see so much when we just deprive ourselves out of everything else that person is. Like, you fascist, and then you just don't realize that this person can actually help you on your path to this or that.
To fascism. Well,
Be my guru.
yeah, but the problem with labeling, like,
It's huge. The internet really, it just created this new era. It just label.
yeah.
You fat kid, you idiot, you whatever.
But I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but if I ever formed a band, which I wouldn't, because I don't know how to sing nor play an instrument.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, I would call it Old Tweets Resurfaced.
Okay.
like for example, you have some ultra famous singer, and you find out that like 10 years ago they made a bad joke, or that they had a bad phase or something.
Oh.
And then crucifixion begins.
But media does that.
Yeah.
Media does that.
Yeah.
Not just like people online. Media, like CNN or something like that.
Yeah. Again, a PewDiePie is a really good example of it. Like, everything the guy does, no, he's simply a fascist. Everything that he does. And
PewDiePie's cool.
yeah, I like him a lot.
Christian channel is what he says.
I love it.
I was like defending the guy when he was called an anti-Semite.
He just made a poor joke. That's the issue.
Exactly. But that's the thing. That's the thing. And now imagine those people tagging him like as an anti-Semite or whatever. They're missing everything else the guy has to offer.
Yeah, which is quite a lot.
Besides him playing games, which you either like that or not, like his social commentary is
Oh man, to be quite honest, I'm not subscribed to him because
Neither am I.
because
It will pop up when
like he has those meme reviews and those are okay, but I don't watch it.
Yeah,
but whenever he's Poppy Boga or whatever Gloria Boga.
Gloria Boga.
Yeah, whenever he uses that, whenever he gets into character, like I'm devouring it. Like I don't think I've ever actually heard something that was like that didn't give me food for the thought, you know, for food for the Twitch thought.
Food for thought with PewDiePie. Okay.
Well, why not?
Okay, why not? Indeed. Well, you know, he's
despite him being blonde.
That's really minus points for him. But then 100 million subscribers kind of overweighs that. What were we talking? Yeah, labeling. If you see a fat kid on the street, sorry for not being politically correct, but if you see a fat kid on the street, he's not just a fat kid. Might save the world one day.
If you see a fat kid on the street, approach him, hug him, tell him, "You're not fat. You're not fat."
Another question. Stop it.
Oh, we have more.
Yeah. How fast is your internet, B?
I have no idea.
That's Darko Samardžić asks.
I have no idea.
What do we do now? Let's say super fast.
It serves my purpose.
And I want to also read one thing. 2 weeks ago, from Wayne Keller. I'm converting to Orthodox from evangelical Christianity.
Great.
And I love the church. Orthodoxy for me is a difficult transition from 40 years of Protestant teaching, and quite frankly is very complicated for me to understand. I asked my priest and bishop and they'll help me a lot, but your YouTube channels makes things more real or practical.
I have to comment something. You have no idea how lucky you are that you have an easy access to your bishop.
Yeah, that's one of the things I also wanted to say, because it was when I started reading it the first time, I asked my priest and bishop. I was like, whoa. You know?
Maybe he's like really young in faith and thinks that the deacon is bishop. Okay.
Well, I wanna.
Where's the question?
There's no question. I just wanted to say something nice, not about you. But anyways, back in the day, B and I used to have a website.
Yeah.
It was called Becoming Orthodox, and the website basically dealt with people joining the Orthodox Church.
Yeah, like from the basics upwards.
Like, how do you make the sign of the cross? How do you? Why would you ever call him an ecumenist? Ever? What's wrong with you? You know, but it was a nice effort. We ended up not doing it, but I think the vision for it, you correct me if I'm wrong, the vision for it was to present the life of an average Orthodox Christian.
I can't be bothered with liturgy today.
However, this vision remains for this channel.
Yeah.
Because we are not doing missionary work. We are not. I don't think this is even a Christian show.
It is.
It is.
What did we discuss for previous 42 minutes?
It's entertainment.
It's Christian entertainment.
Well, it is because we're Christian, but it's not necessarily like.
Yeah, but it's not like, oh well, Katy Perry was baptized when she was 3, and now she's a Christian entertainer because she was baptized when she was 3.
Exactly. I agree. We're a Christian channel. I apologize. Christian channel. What I want to say is we are going to be working towards realizing that particular vision, and the first thing that we've mentioned that at some point. The first thing that we intend to do is pick up the camera and start visiting monasteries around Serbia. Serbia is crazy rich with monasteries. Like
we exported them.
Like literally, guys, we could. I don't know. I can't even. It's hundreds and hundreds of monasteries, and many of them with live,
with living monks.
Alive in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not. what happens with one? Do we have ones with dead monks? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well,
zombie monasteries. What?
I would visit, but from a distance.
The great thing about these monasteries, a lot of them are super old, and have more stories than could ever fit.
Than the Bible.
I'm trying.
Okay. I'll shut up.
Tears from heaven.
If heaven starts tearing, we have to end the episode instantly. So.
Yeah, because maybe the tree gives us a bit of a.
The tree. Yeah, the good tree that will attract lightning.
Yeah, but then a caterpillar. Anyways.
No, you get struck by lightning, like, oh good, no lightning, and then like 50 caterpillars fall from the treetop.
That's purgatory. My dear Jimbo, we are in limbo.
If I eat these caterpillars, will my apparent gluttony be forgiven? Yes.
Gluttony, such a good word. Oh, such a good word. So, despite B here, we are going to be doing like serious videos about monasteries. Well, our intention is to like sit down and talk to monks and have us tell us the story. Like you wouldn't believe. Like I just went to a monastery this Sunday, and this is the holy ground where wars were led and wars destroyed this place multiple times, but every time it comes alive. It's like I think there's so many that we should start categorizing monasteries across Serbia, like the Phoenix category, like really.
Yeah, good, bad. Father, what do frescoes taste like?
The first one we're gonna visit is the one you don't want to go to, and I know which one it is.
Which one I don't want to go to?
We'll talk behind the camera. Come.
No, not that one.
No, not that one. No.
I have been banned from that forever, for 300 years. Or until I lose 20 kilos, whichever comes first.
They don't do that.
Okay. I was trying to be cool.
A piece of paper. Well,
actually. Which one?
Behind the camera.
Okay.
Anyways, I hope let us know if this is something that you guys would like to see, because it doesn't make sense for us to buy a gimbal, an expensive gimbal, and start doing
real estate.
Oh, I don't want to talk anymore.
Okay, but you always want to talk. So
you're terrible. Like, do you see today?
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
I think it's the forest, maybe.
Oh yeah, the air here is so good.
I don't know.
I think that these things produce it or something.
Shut up, ecumenist.
Okay.
You should be banned.
Anyway, of course,
for 500 years.
During
blah, blah, blah,
those episodes, I will have to tone down my charm. Because if I don't do it, and like the hero monk is like watching at us and slowly pressing the alarm button, like, oh man, I really should have double checked this too. Maybe that's not why they're not responding to emails, because they did check.
No,
out.
this is Viber messages. It's not the same.
Oh, okay, good. Maybe they saw my profile picture.
No, I got some monks interested. Igumen. How do you translate that?
Abbot. Or Hegumen. Abbot.
I got some abbots interested, but it's work in progress. Both great monasteries, but we need a ticket in. So
we're dressed as monks. Like two monks are like going into the field, and we grab them from the shadows. And
dude, I had a sort of a situation like that.
Okay.
Like 2 days ago, and on Sunday. So I was in front of the monastery. Because I have to go to my car to like pick something up from the car. I brought something for the monastery, and I had to go pick it up. And this car parks next to me, and these very, very young kids, like high school tops, very, very young. Well, high school kids, exit the car, and they're all dressed as monks, and they're cursing left and right, and I'm like,
well, typical monks.
and I look at them, they look at me, they like divert their eyes.
Awkward.
And I like go and dig for stuff in my car, and I'm like, and I'm like
awkward.
And I pull the stuff, close the trunk, and I turn away, and they're in civil clothes and walking into the monastery. And I'm guessing that they were like, they wanted to like record a show or something. I don't know, but
maybe they were like a choir or something.
I don't think you can get them that young. In a car, like 4 of them, plus a lady, like a girl, plus swearing that much. It's impossible. But yeah, I could have snatched their robes. I could be like, guys, I'm gonna have to have your robes now.
Yeah, because monks do wear hair like that.
Yeah, and please give me 3 because.
I need it for a friend of mine.
Yeah.
his size circus tent. You being dressed as a monk. I mean, maybe I could pass this one, but you with that hairdo, that's like that that joke when Americans send a spy that speaks perfect Russian into Russia, and they figure him out because he was black. That is your hairdo will.
Простите, друзья.
What's that? Church Slavonics?
Huh?
Is that Church Slavonics?
That's Russian. You should know Russian by now. You're an Orthodox Christian. Everyone should know Russian.
After I finished my teenage years, I stopped listening to Varlam Monastery. So that was a phase.
That's one other difference between him and myself. He's more like Greek music, spiritual music, and I'm more like Russian spiritual music. Right?
If that were true on my part.
No, really. If we don't get a blessing to do things like that, we just record the monastery from a far away place, and we'll just narrate.
Yeah. Our episode. So outside of the range of non-blessing, which is about 2 miles, according to the holy canons.
Father Abbot, may we have your blessing? No. But can we? No. Okay, but just like, what's the radius of your blessing?
Of your lack of blessing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you would give us one, what would the radius be?
So we're on this crazy cold mountaintop, and if you zoom on that forest and really zoom in, the 300 pixel is the monastery wall. This
is as close as we could have approached it, considering the lack of blessing. No, really. What I want to, and this is why I'm asking the question: would this be okay for you guys? Because there's more ways to present Orthodox Christian life in Serbia. We think this one is very good.
Yeah, and if you're guys not for that, then we are thinking about mukbangs with Serbian fast food, like McDonald's. So I suggest you do the monasteries.
I mean, we can always do that pizza episode, but prolong it for it to be a series. But
okay.
Still. And no, but we would eat the pizza in a proximity of a monastery.
During Lent. Yum, 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 yum.
Lenten pizza, though. For me. Keto Lenten pizza. Cauliflower.
Okay.
Cauliflower takes care of the crust.
Like Lenten keto pizza is literally...
Blasphemy. Yeah, I know.
No, it's not blasphemy. It has to exist to be blasphemy. It's like
it
nothing...
Does? No. Oh, dear Lord, you are wrong. Dude. Everything can be keto.
That is why you're thin and angry. Because of all this crazy food you're not eating.
Look, man, I think I'm like I have like nerves of steel, being able
Cauliflower,
to take
really?
this from you. You've been sabotaging me for this entire episode.
Like cauliflower, you're literally eating a plant that God even didn't find fitting to put color in.
It's white.
Yeah.
White is a color.
It's not.
It
First
is.
of all, first of all,
What?
it's not. First
What?
of all, white is not a color.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
It is lack of color. First of all.
No, lack of
Or-
color
or
would
all of
more,
color,
more.
that's-
No, that would be black.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Haha!
Point is.
I win, you lose.
Point is.
Easy.
Point is.
Easy.
You're literally eating one of God's lazier works. I'm just saying. Like, why not eat broccoli?
Eat broccoli. But don't make pizza out of broccoli. That's not. No, don't. Seriously, don't. But do make pizza out of cauliflower. It's one. It can be one. Like we ate mac and cheese with cauliflower.
Okay, and then.
Cauliflower was the mac.
Okay.
Cheese was
Honestly,
the cheese.
honestly,
I ate the Lenten mac and cheese. Cauliflower
stop
was.
saying these things out loud. Like no.
Wait. We just got a comment. This has never happened before.
Oh, why?
I need to see what it is.
Oh, that guy. I
Is
hate
there-
that guy.
Is there
Tyler M. Ugh.
Tyler. Is there any chance you could release the audio of these videos in a podcast form? I love listening to you during my drives. It makes me sad that the content is not only accessible through YouTube. Nonetheless, thank you for all the content you publish. It's great. We'll do it.
Okay, this is a different Tyler M. Sorry.
No, Tyler, if you like listening to us, you'll be happy to know that we did publish a bunch of our content back to the audio version of the podcast.
Yeah.
But we are just very, very lazy to do it constantly. So we'll just fix that.
Yeah. Thank you for your comment, Tyler M. 12 points to US.
The U.S. How do you know? He could be Canadian. He could be from the Netherlands.
Tyler.
Yes, Tyler. He could be British. He could be a British
Let's not wish
person
evil.
living in South Africa.
Let's not wish evil upon anyone.
Oh, like now I know. Like I've taken him to nature. This was my idea, and look how mean he is today.
Yeah.
Like you're the meanest you ever were.
Oh, we have a perfect Serbian English for this. Po vampiris.
Yeah, that can't be
Translated.
well.
He got vampirized.
Vampirized.
Yeah, it's not that.
But imagine a vampire being reborn like the phoenix bird in a shroud of evil.
You could have just said like a vampire being reborn and not like a phoenix, but then you have to.
But what about the shroud of evil? You have to appreciate that.
It sounds like something you will find in Dungeons and Dragons, and
Yes.
you clearly have to put it away, but it is also cool.
Exactly. But okay, I'm done. I can't.
I can't. You can't even. And I can't talk.
And we were gonna talk about conspiracy theories.
We did a bit.
We did?
Well, like 2 sentences, but
Well, there's a conspiracy theory that B is an ecumenist. And it's
is that really that much of a conspiracy
it
theory?
spans across multiple YouTube comments and multiple. I don't want to go there.
You better.
No, really.
Hey Pigeon, subscribe to our channel.
Oh yeah, there's another one right there.
There's too many of them.
Please give us your feedback on the idea to show you the monasteries. I think it's gonna be awesome. Like I have this great feeling about it and great intuition about it. I really just wanna do it. I think it's gonna be like uber cool.
Yeah, like next best thing after
Roman Catholicism.
Hannah Montana.
the fourth thing.
Hannah Montana. What?
If you like B's meanness, like the video.
Share.
If you don't like B's meanness, share the video.
And if you like M's timidity, then comment.
Share, like, subscribe.
Yeah, and pledge, and sell your soul to us, or nobody else.
Like, the list goes on. Ecumenist, Satanists, generally an evil person.
I was never a generally evil person.
Like, are we saying like generally evil person or like a general evil person? Like, those two things are different.
I was never an evil general.
The craziest thing in Serbian cartoons, never know if we mentioned it, the general store.
I think we mentioned it
Ah!
once. No, but we mentioned it again. Why not? It's a good joke.
I love that one because when they translated general store in our cartoons, the translation ended up being the general's store. Oh, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, the main character, he always wore like some sort of cap, and you could maybe imagine
Like
that he was a general.
remotely be like, well, they must call this guy a general because he has a store. You know?
They never do.
Of course they are. Thank you, B, for joining me in this forest.
Please, sir, take me back. I'll do anything you want.
We appreciate everybody's comments,
Especially
especially
you, Tyler M.
you, Tyler.
And Bonnie M.
No. Walrus King 14. Please give us the background of your nickname. I'm super curious. Just saying.
Well, if I don't have any Bible illustrated on my channel, why can't he be Walrus King 14?
No, you can be whatever you want, but it's I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe Walrus King 13 was taken. Yes.
Well, that would explain a lot. Ocelot Archduke 12.
Yeah.
Oh no, I really wanted to be that.
Okay. Guys, send us the names if you want us to mention you or just carry you around in our hearts, during the liturgy. Send us feedback on the us visiting monasteries and basically making episodes on
Sketch comedy.
on the monastic and Christian Orthodox life in Serbia, and finally share, like, subscribe, blah blah blah. Next thing we are procuring is gimbal for us to be able to actually go and record while walking and then
I thought-
talking to abbots.
I thought we were getting a gumball machine, like... This is disappointment.
Guys, I apologize, but I have to say that the next thing we're getting is definitely a gumball machine.
Like, it's always in the background.
Like, awesome idea, man.
Yeah.
By the way, until we get a new studio, because the one we used to record at, we had to let it go because Corona, whatever. So before we get a new studio, we'll try to actually record outside.
Stupid mosquitoes.
It is what it is. There's ways to deal with that.
Yeah. So, see you guys in the next episode, and Epstein didn't kill himself.